I'm always impressed with the level of excitement that I see when in meetings and other venues at San Jose State. But we would like to get started, so thank you very much. Good afternoon. For those of you that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Jerry Selter, and currently I'm the Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs at San Jose State. And it truly is an honor for me to be able to welcome you all here today for the first annual fall address by our new president, Dr. Mohammad Qayoumi. I also want to extend a very special welcome to all of the students, faculty, staff, and administrators that are here today that are new to the campus. So welcome to San Jose State. This is not a good university. This is a great university. You know, about 10 years ago, when formulating what became Vision 2010, San Jose State adopted a goal of becoming a destination campus, a university of choice for prospective students and their parents. This goal essentially has been reached, as evidenced by the record number of new students that are arriving on campus this semester, a record that involves over 2,700 new upper division transfer students and over 4,000 new freshmen. Another result from Vision 2010 is the university focus on continuous improvement within the context of inclusive excellence. Improvement in graduation and retention rates, improvement in the quality of our programs, in the development of our faculty, our facilities, in general operations on the campus, and more. San Jose State is stronger, and take it from me, I've been here a long time, more vibrant today than it ever has been. Within the new, bold leadership, this university can become anything that it chooses to be. And with that thought in mind, it is now my pleasure to introduce Mr. Tomas I didn't practice that for more than the weekend. Kowaziak, who is now beginning his second elected term as president of the San Jose State University Associated Student. Tomas?
Thank you very much. Thank you, Provost Selter. It is my great pleasure to be here and to see all of you here today, our friends, students, our faculty and staff. So as the student body president, I'm delighted to welcome all of you here and take part in this annual address. So as some of you know, I have the privilege already to call San Jose State my alma mater, and I'm not trying to confuse anyone. I've graduated last semester with a business degree, but decided to come back to do my graduate school at San Jose State. There's something about San Jose State that makes it hard to leave, so I'm still here. So I've had the privilege to serve as a student body president for a second term, and I would just like to highlight one of the major AS accomplishments that we have done. So for the first time, in AS history, students officers have taken a tangible approach to help students struggling with fee increases. So what we have done, we have created 5 new scholarships, merit and need-based, totaling $81,000, and 40 students have been awarded last May. So now, looking in the future, by reflecting on the past semester, as many of you know, the NASA telescopes have discovered the smallest planet outside our solar system. Now, it wasn't thanks to AS, but one of our faculty and astronomer, Natalie Batala, that played an integral role in this discovery. So when we say that we'll reach for the sky as a university, it is not just an empty statement. So that said, I would like to introduce to you the new AS Board 2011-2012, and if you could please stand up. student. All right. So these students will be representing our diverse student body in the upcoming year. Many of you will see them at university committees and various other leadership roles on our campus. So this year, we are all looking forward for President Qayoumi's leadership at San Jose State University, as well as the strategic planning process. President Qayoumi is a great administrator, visionary, and a proven leader. And as San Jose Mercury News highlighted this weekend, we are waiting for the momentum and the energy he will bring to our campus. I would just like to end that being the best public university in Silicon Valley, we're looking forward to dream big on this campus. And I would like to introduce Beth Von Til. She's this year's chair of the Academic Senate, professor of Communication Studies, Salzburg Fellow, director at Communication Studies Lab, and finally, and importantly, mentor to many students. Thank you.
Many thanks to Tomas Kolajek for his kind remarks. I'd like to add my welcome to that of Provost Selter and AS President Tomas Kolajek. It's a great time to be here. The weather's beautiful, the campus is buzzing with excitement, and we're off to a great start. I also want to thank Provost Selter for his many years of strong and compassionate leadership. I know he and Carol have many plans for his retirement, but we will be sadder when they decide to make those plans a reality. So Provost Selter, thank you. At this time, even though we have some members who are leaving us, we have new members joining the campus community. So would all of the new faculty hires please stand up? Welcome to San Jose State. It's also a pleasure to be here at this time of transition, which also makes it a time of opportunity. So carrying forth some traditions, particularly from the Cassing eras 1 and 2, I'd like to tell you a little story. But it does have a point. So I was thinking about the first day of classes, and I hearkened back to my first day of going to real school. I remember my little red plaid dress. I remember my blue plaid book bag. I was very proud of that. And I remember that my best friend Ann Burlington and I made our mothers braid our hair exactly the same way because we were going to first grade with the big kids. And we walked 2 blocks to Storm Lake Elementary School, nervous and excited, because we knew things were never going to be the same. We were going to school, which was a special place. We would learn the secrets that the big kids knew, and we would be transformed. A lot of you probably remember a lot of your own first days at different stages of your academic careers, and a lot of our students are going to be experiencing the same thing on Wednesday with another first day of classes. It was exciting to be here over the weekend and watch a lot of the students checking into the dorms, families buzzing around. It was a really lively place on a Saturday. So my theme for today is really the sense of place, our sense of place. Place can be defined in all kinds of ways: an area of space occupied or intended for something, physical surroundings, a location, definite or indefinite, a distinct condition, a step in a sequence, and its oldest definition is that of a public square. And I think all of those definitions have special resonance for us here at San Jose State. 1 Washington Square. So the idea of sense of place has been a recurring theme on campus. President Corrett named us the Metropolitan University of Silicon Valley and vowed to make it a happier, prettier place. Interim President Joe Crowley encouraged us to think of as our identity as a place of purpose. Don Cassing, in his first term, kept telling us this is our time. And it was. It was our time to become a destination campus and to determine our own destiny. John Whitmore reminded us that if we are to endure, we must sustain ourselves. And with the return of the Don, we thought about having a Dust-Off Don Award, but that San Jose State is a place to be proud of, and a place to be proud of what we can do, not just the things that get eliminated by the legislative realities and budgetary grim factors. So we invest ourselves here, and we invest ourselves in this place. We have a new opportunity. We have a new president, Mohammad Qayoumi, who's not a stranger to San Jose State. He's been here before, and he embodies many of the qualities that make Silicon Valley such a vibrant, innovative place. He's a trained engineer who's honed his skills as an administrator at various institutions, the last being his presidency at Cal State East Bay. If we look at a list of his publications, and I did, I found works on electricity, electrical currents, conductivity, assessment, benchmarking, strategic planning, and diversity. In his article, Looking to Diversity for America's Reemergence, published in Diverse Issues in Higher Education, July 2009, President Qayoumi stated, "The ability to capitalize on our nation's rich diversity, particularly among underrepresented groups, by building our human capital via higher education, will drive our reemergence as a healthy, sustainable, secure, and economically strong power." President Qayoumi also had a good plan for transitioning to his new position as president of San Jose State. It was very advantageous to have a president-select in such close proximity. I call it the long hello. Because immediately upon the announcement of his appointment, he was here a lot. He attended meetings, celebrations, interviews with key people, so his face became familiar to us before he actually assumed his office in July 1. In his article in the book Presidential Transitions, he talked about his transition to the president's position at East Bay. It is revealing to see that even before his selection, he was looking at his transition as a way to identify signature themes and key constituencies. He is known for his energy, his thorough and strategic planning, and for moving quickly. He will be sharing his plans for San Jose State and your involvement in those plans with a question and answer period immediately after his remarks. So while we will be streaming his remarks, we will not be streaming the question and answer period afterward. So I hope you will feel free to ask many candid questions at that time. So put on your running shoes. This is going to be a busy place. It's my pleasure now to introduce President Mohammad Qayoumi.
Thank you and good afternoon. Professor Fontiel, thank you for this warm introduction. And also I'd like to thank Provost Salter and President Kwajak for joining me this morning on the stage. To those of you in the audience, I've asked these colleagues to join me as a reflection of my belief in shared governance and collaborative decision making. Our ability to make the right decisions and choices for San Jose State and to work to the major challenges that face us today needs our earnest commitment to faculty, shared governance, and collaboration. It's a great pleasure to be with all of you this afternoon and to deliver my first address as president of San Jose State University. The fall address is an important tradition of our campus. It marks the beginning of a new academic year, and also it gives us a chance to reflect upon our successes of the prior year and helps us frame the challenges and opportunities we anticipate in the year ahead. The combined attendance of our faculty and staff among the audience today signifies our recognition that only with collective and truly collaborative efforts we can deliver our core missions, namely student success. In other words, a bona fide community of students, faculty, and staff is what underpins and creates the environment of authentic student success and achievement. This year, this time, it's also an opportunity to get to know each other. Although I've had the pleasure of working with some of you in my prior assignment here at San Jose State, as well as my other positions in the CSU, I'm sure that many of you are wondering what I bring in my role as president of San Jose State University, and especially during these challenging times. I'm equally eager to learn about all of you, your work, your need, your dreams, and your aspirations for San Jose State University. I also would like to know and ask you this question: what kind of a future do you imagine for San Jose State University? With this in mind, after my remarks, I would like to take questions. So this forum will not just be an address, but a dialogue. Let me first express my heartfelt thanks and gratitudes. First and foremost, to President Don Kassing, who has been such a strong, fiercely dedicated leader for San Jose State and whose record of success inspires us all. Don has been a great mentor and a great friend who facilitated many opportunities over the past several months to spend time for me on campus and to work a great transition. Many thanks to the cabinet members, academic senate leadership, the deans, and the campus community members who have been so generous with their wisdom and well wishes. And finally, let me thank all of you who have been so welcoming and supportive and full of ideas. I'm also honored for many of you in your meetings, phone calls, and personal notes have reached out to me by saying, welcome back, and how can I help? Allow me to briefly highlight my background and a few core values. I come from a modest working family. Like many of our students, I experienced the value of college education and was the first in my family to go to college. I personally experienced the opportunity of how higher education transforms an individual. I profoundly valued and embraced the multicultural community that we serve and the great educational value we offer. Moreover, I'm deeply committed to the pluralism and celebrating the differences in our communities. I'm a staunch believer in the thrill of intellectual curiosity and the joy of discovery, and I embrace university's academic mission and its deeply rooted democratic values. These values inform my understanding and my role as president of a university, and that is to lead, govern, and manage wisely, to nurture the spirit of academic community, to defend the core values of the institution, to pursue our mission through strategic goals and priorities, to lead change and continuous improvement, to serve as an ethical compass, and to serve as a model educator leading an academic community. Armed with these values, let me also share some of my personal beliefs that have served to guide me throughout my professional career. And these are: a strong belief in the saliency of shared governance matters. A deep commitment to transparency and accountability matters. Individual and team performance matters. Shared responsibility for success matters. Agility, nimbleness, and eliminating bureaucratic barriers matter. Healthy relationship across organizational boundaries matter. And finally, for long-term success, striving for sustained excellence matter. San Jose State has always strived for excellence in countless ways. The university has a strong foundation because of you. Thanks to the good work of many of you here today, San Jose State had many significant successes last year. I'll mention a few of the highlights, and there are many more. First, in terms of our faculty who demonstrated exceptional contributions and international acclaim, as President Qayoumi already mentioned, Professor Natalie Batala, Associate Professor of Physics and Astronomy, who led a science team for NASA's Kepler mission that confirmed the discovery of its first rocky planet, the smallest planet ever discovered outside our solar system. And Professor Eugene Cordero, Associate Professor of Meteorology and Climate Sciences, who has been named as Google Science Communication Fellow. Our programs have received, also many of our programs received similar recognitions. The SJSU Salzburg Fellow Program was named as one of the nation's top 10 citizens diplomacy program in the field of higher education by U.S. Center for Citizen Diplomacy. Our sustainability program received a Silicon Valley's Water Conservation Award for our use of recycled water in reducing potable water usage by 50 million gallons a year. Our fundraising and social awareness also had notable achievements. Our acceleration campaign for San Jose State raised $25 million last year, bringing to the total amount of money raised to date by the campaign to over $150 million. Our celebration of SJSU Legacy Week honored and promoted our institution's commitment to social justice. Finally, and most importantly, our students who simply were superb once again. In our athletic program, 107 student athletes received academic all-conference honors, and 2011 graduate Shanice Howard, a Spartan gymnast, was named the Arthur Ashes Sports Scholarship Top Athlete of the Year nationally. More broadly, our two graduating class, both for first-time freshmen and transfers, have shown marked improvements of over 5% increases in six-year graduation results. Think of these successes and the fact that this is just a tip of the iceberg, and one can begin to grasp the extraordinary momentum that San Jose State enjoys at this time. Despite the challenges that the current economic crisis, now it's time for us to dream big, and as we can imagine our future for the university. In fact, if you look at our nation's history, we find that important decisions have been made during times of challenge and adversity. From President Abraham Lincoln's work on the Morrill Land Grant Act and Transcontinental Railroad to President John F. Kennedy's drive to reaching the moon, many of these developments have arisen as a direct result of intersecting needs, innovation, creative thought, and multifaceted collaboration. The Venezuelan scholar and socioeconomist Carlota Perez had described the relationship between innovation, technology, institutional change, and economic development. Paraphrase, she suggests that technological changes is not an engineering phenomena, but a complex social interaction process involving a mix of technical, economic, social, and institutional factors. Simply stated, single inventions do not change the world. Widespread wave of innovations do. I would like to add to this quote that while invention may be the work of an individual, innovation is a socioeconomic development that requires teamwork. In other words, the only way that we can enhance the impact of our faculty and students' great work is to facilitate opportunities where individuals can work across many disciplines. That is how we can transform the learning process and create new opportunities. We live in an era of extraordinary urbanization and globalization. San Jose State has always been a foundation, part of the very fabric in the development and growth of the Silicon Valley. Now it's more than ever we need to continue building robust connections to the industry, to government, to regional non-governmental organizations, national labs, and research facilities in the region. With many urban centers across the world competing fiercely to become the next Silicon Valley, we must continue to build our external relationships and to prepare students to succeed in this globalized economy. Just as the Valley has grown its old boundaries, we must continue to begin to think about our place in the greater Bay Area and beyond. Silicon Valley is the world's hub of technological breakthroughs. Combined regionally with San Francisco as a major international financial center and the Port of Oakland as a global export hub, together we form a golden triangle of opportunity. But in order to truly visualize the possibilities of our future, we need to take a good look around us to acknowledge our recent successes, but also to take on extraordinary opportunities that lie ahead in our region. All of us here today share a desire to build a university on university strength and imagine a better and bolder future, to help us move forward together to a common vision and that where we are, what we stand for, and where we are headed. And most importantly, with a shared commitment of our mission of serving our students. I believe the role of a university president is to honor and celebrate the institution's tradition while serving as an effective catalyst for transformation. All around us, the context of higher education is changing, not only in reduced budget support, but also in increased pressure from Congress and accrediting agencies for transparency and accountability regarding students' learning and student success. We must be able to demonstrate that students are meeting our learning outcomes and we are engaged rigorously in the quality assurance to ensure students' excellence. Later this semester, we'll be launching an implementation plan to take through our next WASC accreditation cycle, culminating in 2015. Assessing program quality is everyone's responsibility, and I look forward to your full participation. Let me state quite emphatically that it's not my intent to remake San Jose State according to some preconceived model of our ideals that I hold dear. On the contrary, as I said earlier, my interest is in answering the question, how do we collectively envision the kind of future we want to have? To this end, I'm inviting the university community, namely all of you, in participating in our university strategic planning process in September. 40 town hall meetings have already been scheduled at varying times of the day in varying parts of the campus, so everyone will have an opportunity to participate. Every one of you will be able to share with me your dreams, your aspirations for our great university's future. We'll be working with the Strategic Planning Board that the Academic Senate established and follow the three themes that WASC accreditation process had established, namely integrative learning, community connection, and inclusive excellence. The work will be done here on campus by our faculty and staff and not by an outside consultant. To chart our collective future, it clearly makes sense to tap into the great talent and bold imaginations and intrinsic commitment to our mission which exists among us. My desire is to combine the audacity of imagination with systematic discipline to drive quality and to work towards specific goals. As in the words of Eleanor Roosevelt, The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. My interest in distilling our collective ambition, transforming our dreams into a working model, and finally executing the working model as our plan. It's about honoring the past and respecting history while simultaneously enabling transformative change. This collaborative approach is to chart our future is a key element of transformation process because it fosters innovation. The result will be by the end of the fall semester will be a strategic planning framework that will guide our next steps, namely academic planning, as well as our facilities planning and planning for future fundraising campaigns. It's a framework that will envision this and describing the future of our institution. In the spring semester, we'll use a similar approach in developing our academic plan. Subsequently, framed by the strategic and academic plans, we'll develop our supporting plans across the university. Once completed, we'll not only have developed a genuinely integrative plans, but with goals and measures and targets, but we'll also have tie the university's budget to these plans. I believe such a focused approach will help us realize our collective aspirations and vision, since it's our unity of purpose that binds us all. In conclusion, let me quote a poem from the famous 14th century Persian poet Hafiz, which translates as, "O birds of paradise, bless me with resolve and determination, for the journey I have set forth is far, and I've just taken the first step." Thank you for your time today and for the opportunity to work with such talented students, accomplished faculty, and dedicated staff. It's an honor and privilege to rejoin you at this great university. Thank you.